Saturday night before the communists take over. Uh, I guess there's no other way to say hello. Uh, let's start there. Give me 5 by 5. Let me know if we are hearing me okay, and we'll get started. So as I see the screen ticking over to hopefully getting things going here, we'll see what we got. All right, Jacob, as usual, my first person always telling me 5 by 5, and I don't even see it on the screen yet. So, all right, good evening, all. Like I said at the open here, last one. Okay, Trump's gone in what, 58 hours, something like that, thereabouts. So happy to see everybody here. Jeannie, aloha. Okay, we got Hawaii representative, Chief Jim, Mammy K, Lisa Hoffer, Sean. Hey guys. We'll see if we get some new faces in here tonight too. Seems like a few people have found the channel lately. So if y'all been helped from that, I'd say thank you very much here. So trying to get the word out as best we can. Hot Rod's in here. Lynn Mann, good deal. Okay. All right. So, as housekeeping items, right now, Jacob, it seems like you're the only mod in here, so I'm guessing the rest of the gang will probably show up here in a few minutes. But, again, keep the house clean. You know how that one all goes. So, been an interesting couple of days, I guess, if you all. We've kind of seen all over the world here some political change between Merkel stepping down and Putin doing his thing in Russia and trying to completely change the government, and some smaller countries with elections, some getting reelected, some not. It's going to be interesting here next week. And I will put this out there right from the get-go. I hope to God none of you are planning on going to Washington, D.C. next week, all right? 25,000 National Guard troops there. From what I'm seeing is you've got National Guard stationed at every state house next week. It's going to be interesting. The fun part that I see on all that is there's nothing I can find that's coming from the right, if you will, to cause trouble. But I'm seeing stories from the left to cause trouble. There was some guy in Florida who was apparently arrested, who was a far leftist who wanted to storm the state capitol in Florida. And the FBI got a hold of him. So, no, I've seen stories from you guys or comments from you guys about the FBI and the DOJ monitoring channels, and we all know about all the massive censorship that's been going on. Honestly, I'm not worried about it. Shut me down, okay? I don't say anything that's violent or controversial, sure. Okay, but I've never been, and you guys can look at any video I've ever put up, I've never condoned violence whatsoever. I've always said, defend yourself till the end, but I don't want to see anybody going out and starting a fight. That's like I've said many times, never start one, always finish one. And that I'll never change that belief, okay? So that's kind of what I got. Just as an open here, we will do everything as we normally do. Rapid fire Q&A as best we can. We'll shoot for an hour tonight. See what the crowd is. I guess Jason over at Angry Prepper is doing something tonight. He's kind of changing his format, thinking a little bit. So for all of those of you guys that have been wondering where he is, I talked to him today. He's fine. He's just kind of reevaluating what he wants to do. He's probably mentioning some of this on his live stream, so I'm not going to take the wind out of his sails for that. But if you're here, go watch the replay, see what he's up to. And if you're over there and coming here later, I support him for whatever he does. Still one of the best guys in the prepping community, and I've got full faith in Jason whatsoever. So, okay, questions as per normal. Please put them in all caps. The old eyes aren't as good as they used to be. And considering Doc told me my cholesterol's high when I went to the doctor on Friday, we're going to make sure that this old man loses a couple of pounds. So, so not a bad thing as a prepper. So, okay. So I'm going to kind of scroll up, see what we got, and we'll kind of go from there. Garth Wagner, what movement is Trump referring to in the last couple of speeches? He's talking about a patriot movement. Okay. I mean, we all know that there's half the country. Okay. I mean, there's plenty of people that didn't vote. We know that. Okay. But there's half the country at least that is not on board with socialism. And I mean, it's just simple as that. I mean, I still say if I put on the Johnny Carson Swami hat here, uh, balkanization is in our future. I know that's a long shot, but you're going to start seeing that a lot more. Even if it isn't official, you're really going to see it between states because, as somebody said today, oh, they wish we could all get along. We're past that. Okay. Half the country is not buying socialism whatsoever. And give it 6 months, and that's going to be 2/3 to 3/4 of the country when they realize that it doesn't work real fast. When they're got their hand out going, "Where's mine?" and they're going, "There ain't anything to give you." Okay. And then they're gonna start dying off quick. I mean, not physically 6 feet under dying off, but bailing on the party, if you will. Uh, I know what faith we all have in elections, but as it looks right now, as I kind of pull out the crystal ball here, 2022 and is just going to be a slaughter for the left. Now, who takes over is going to be different because my serious bet is by 2022 we are 3 parties, and by 2024 we're 4. Okay. And because I think everybody pretty much agrees that the GOP has got such a yellow spine, it's unbelievable. And you're going to have the emergence of a patriot party that is, the constitutionalist party, more or less, I guess, if you will. And there'll be some GOPers that move over. I'd say a Jim Jordan, a Matt Gaetz, a Kristi Noem, maybe even a Ted Cruz. Those guys would be welcome. But there's a whole lot of GOPers that constitutionalists want nothing to do with anymore because they're not. Okay. But I think that's what Trump's talking about more than anything else. Where do we go next? Old Rider filling 200 sandbags. Yeah, there's one, guys. If you don't have prepped, okay, you can go online and buy sandbags. Okay, you don't have to fill them, all right, but have them. Okay, I mean, I think I got mine. I think it was 200 of them for $35. Now I bought them last summer, and okay, they're good for a lot of things. A, what y'all think they're good for, but B, if you live in Florida, up the East Coast, down the Gulf Coast, whatever it is, having some sandbags not a bad idea with hurricanes and everything like that. Preventing some water. So, sandbags aren't expensive. I got a box of them. They're not full. Okay, if I need to fill them, okay, I'll go out and fill them. Dirt isn't as good to fill in a sandbag as sand is. I'm not going to get a ton of sand delivered to sit out in my backyard. But dirt-filled sandbags is still a hell of a lot better than nothing. Okay, if I had to, I'll dig it out of my gardens and I'll have manure-filled sandbags. But it's something better than nothing. But at least I've got them on hand to use. Let's see. Whoops, scrolled up again. Wish I knew a way to stop this thing from going all the way to the bottom when I do this. Okay. Less sugar lowers cholesterol. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, okay, as I have my glass of wine. Trust me, Doc said less white stuff, no flour, no sugar. So, I mean, less, obviously. Down at Boddington Farm, when's Mrs. Pinball making borscht? Honestly, we have not had it, okay? Probably in a month, and I'm getting ready to tell her we need to make it just because I want it. Uh, so probably pretty soon. I know I keep saying that. We just haven't had it in a while. And especially considering it's winter, you think we'd be eating more soup, but we've been doing a lot in the chicken soups and all, so that's worked well. Highlands Husky, did I hear Lindell, the pillow guy? Okay. Yeah, Mike is a diehard Trumper. I mean, I'm a diehard Trumper, don't get me wrong, okay? But guys, again, he's completely drinking a Kool-Aid, if you will. There's red Kool-Aid and there's blue Kool-Aid, okay? And he's drinking a red Kool-Aid. Let's all face reality. Come Tuesday at noon, Trump is no longer president, okay? I know, I see all the stories about declaring war, declaring martial law, the Insurrection Act, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, it's not happening. Just please stop with the BS on this. I mean, congratulations to Lindell getting off of being a crack addict and starting a profitable company. I've got his pillows upstairs. I love them. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But dude, stick to what you know. You know pillows. Okay. You don't know politics. Stay out of it. That girl who used to have really long hair, they wouldn't need 50,000 troops if they weren't forcing a stolen election against the will of the people. I absolutely agree. Okay. The funny thing is, and I've said this in response to a couple of comments y'all have made, is the inauguration is going to be hilarious. It's going to look like a parade on Red Square. All right. If you've got 25, I mean, how many people do you honestly think show up for an inauguration? You know, a good one's maybe 100,000 people. If a quarter of those are in uniform, okay, this is going to look like a military parade, not a coronation, I guess, if you will. It's probably the best way to put it. But yeah, I mean, they're expecting something to happen. And the funny part is, what's going to happen, my guess, is not going to be from the Patriots, because the Patriots all saw what happened to the people. I mean, there was a guy up in New Hampshire who was arrested today for being down in D.C. Back on the 6th. You know, Patriots aren't going to go. I mean, like I've said from the beginning, all that crap is an easy way to get yourself hurt, an easy way to get yourself arrested, and accomplishes absolutely zero. And what has it accomplished? Absolutely zero. Okay. So, you know, the BLM, Antifa will go in and raise their 9 kinds of hell, and the National Guard will be there. Okay. But that's pretty much what it is. Guys, you know, control what you can control. Serenity prayer type stuff. Okay. You know, you can't control what the U.S. government is doing. We had our chance. We said our piece. We got cheated. And, you know, that's that. Okay. And, okay, I'm surprised that the video hasn't shut down yet, but here we are. All right. Wolf Eyes, hello from Bristol, Virginia. Well, hello back from Union County, Tennessee. Actually, it's kind of funny. I've had a couple of people get with me this week about looking at property where I am. Good move. So a lot of still inexpensive, relatively inexpensive property to be had in Tennessee, and I'm glad to see people are actually moving. Like I said in a video earlier this week, Tennessee happens to be the #1 place to people to be moving to. Not that I knew that a year and a half ago, to almost 2 years ago when we moved here. Just happy I did. So, okay, something just popped up. Carmen, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that super chat. That definitely helps with me looking for a job right now. So thank you. Gotta go there. All right, let's see where else we go. But you didn't ask a question. You think you'd at least ask, not that I don't answer everybody anyway, but all right. Scrolling around here. Where else are we next? Prepping Mama, I just want to buy land and vanish from the grid. Yeah, I think a lot of people are like that. I think that's why a lot of people are moving out to the country. I mean, to Tennessee, to, the panhandle of Florida or northern Florida. I mean, in all places in Texas, uh, wherever it would be. The thing is this, you're never going to get off the grid completely. Okay. There is no such thing as Grizzly Adams. I mean, everybody wants that log cabin in the woods where they're completely self sufficient. Just 0.0001 people could actually live that lifestyle. I mean, I've mentioned the TV show Mountain Men a couple of times. All right, y'all know. I mean, look deep inside yourself. What they do on there, we aren't capable of doing. Okay, some of us, there might be a person or two on here that is. Uh, you know, I'll be as self-sufficient as I can, but I can't do what these guys do. All right, just not happening. And I bet most of you guys are the same. So, again, just a dose of reality there. Sasha Time, what do I think Trump will do after he's out of office? Starting a new media company would maybe a good start. They're trying to destroy him. Okay. I mean, him, his entire family, the whole 9 yards. All right. And you got to understand this. Every industry is somewhat regulated. I mean, he's in real estate, has been for years. The real estate industry is somewhat regulated. That's going to be tough for him. Okay, I want to buy property in New York. Okay, you don't think Cuomo's going to make it next to impossible for him, or de Blasio, or whoever the next Democrat mayor of New York City is? So he's going to be limited there. So what you think of his real estate investments may wind up being more overseas, just because the Democrat machine here in the United States is going to make it as difficult as possible for him. Now, setting up a new media company, sure. Problem is, you got to get that through the FCC. Guess what? Another government entity. If you don't think they're going to make it as difficult as possible, yeah. Do I think he's going to lay down and die? Hell no. The man's got more stamina at 76 years old or whatever it is than most 30-year-olds do. He'll come out on top. I mean, any of these loony lefties that think he's going to jail or whatever it is, okay, hate to tell you this, guys, there were no crimes committed, unlike some of the predecessors and his competitors. Yeah, there have been crimes committed there, and they're not in jail either. So he will be pushed off to the side, but I guarantee he won't be quiet, because like I said earlier about this new Patriot Party that I think will wind up coming about, whatever it's called, I'm just using that as what I think it would be. He'll be the leader, at least for the first 4 years. Do I think he's going to run again in 2024? No. Okay, like I said once before, he's going to be 80. I don't see it happening. Does he have the stamina? Probably. But rarely. I mean, we've only had one time in history when a president has skipped the term and done again. So, yeah, I think more or less you're going to have more candidates that are going to be like him. I still think Jim Jordan will probably be a front runner pretty quick in 2024. I kind of think that for the last couple of years he's been playing himself. Kristi Noem might be another one that's playing off that way too. So those are a couple that I think. All right, let's see, where else are we? North Shore's in here. Okay, we got another mod. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Glad you got here. Let's see what else we got. And it just scrolled up on me. Got to find back where we were. Hang on. Okay, Dixie Vixen, did I see the article of Bill Gates is now the largest single owner of farmland, future agenda? Yeah, I touched on that on the top. Gates is a sick man. Okay, he knows nothing about farming. He's a technology guru. I wouldn't even say that, but technology is. He's got an agenda. That's all it is. Okay, and he wants to steal from the rich and give to the poor. He wants to be a modern day Robin Hood. And you know damn well that anything that's grown on his farm is going to be given to, some country somewhere. You'd be interested to watch my video in the morning. I've already recorded it. But, kind of why food prices are going up and why we're seeing these shortages. You'd be amazed at where it's going. So, uh, Brian Flakes, why do we think people are saying things are going down tomorrow or Monday? Uh, I'm assuming you're meaning some sort of violence. Maybe, maybe not. I've seen all sorts of stories about, hotels and Airbnb canceling hotel reservations in DC. Uh, you know, y'all probably saw today. Trump has had a couple of his social media accounts restored. Yeah, it's probably because of the backlash that the company's got. What was it, 15 trillion or $15 billion worth of market cap was destroyed between Facebook and Twitter, I think it was, because they lost some 70 million subscribers or whatever it would be. Remember, those guys are in it to make money, and they just lost the biggest cash cow they had. I'm sorry, Kylie Jenner may have more followers, but I could give a rat's ass what Kylie Jenner says about anything. Okay, you look at you kick off. I mean, how many people? And I wasn't. Okay, I don't do any of the social media crap, but how many people were on Twitter just to follow Trump? Well, you kick Trump off. Guess what? The rest of them are gone too. Oh, I didn't think about that. Typical, like I've said a million times before. Democrats can't think past this. So, but yeah, why do people say things are going down tomorrow or Monday? I think that's because when the crowd's going to start showing up. Okay, remember we saw on the 6th, the police were escorting busloads of Antifa into Washington, D.C. I mean, that's on video. They can't deny it. It happened. So, where are we going next? Yeah, that girl used to have long hair telling Prep and Mama, come to Tennessee. Yeah, hey, come to Tennessee, guys. Come here. We're good people. I came to Tennessee. I'm not a Tennessean, but they're good people here. Okay, not just me. There's better people than me here. Trust me. What do we got? John Perricone, I'd rather rent a backhoe and dig foxholes and fill sandbags. Yeah, I know. I've been there too and done that. Yeah. To each his own. That's all I can say. Sweet savory words. If you do not have adequate heating, move into one room, fill garbage bags with clothes, towels, use sofa cushions, stack dry goods against outside walls in the house. Yeah, there's many ways you can do this, and I've said this on a couple of videos, guys. Go back and read stories of the Great Depression, okay, and what those people did. Right? And I'm not saying live in cardboard boxes, but I'm saying, there's a lot of really good stuff, and maybe I should do a video on some of the ideas that came out of there, because, for making dinner for what would now cost 50 cents, okay, and feed 4 people, those ideas. I've mentioned cooking with Clara, God rest her soul, before, but there's a lot of good ideas, and I'm not talking about wearing a burlap sack or something like that, but a lot of things that you can take. People adapted very well, and think about this is 100 years ago. They had a lot less than we do now. Nobody's going to be able to tell you how to. You're not going to read something back there on how to watch Netflix or something like that, but the important stuff, how to get from today to tomorrow. As I say many times, what you need to survive. There's a difference between survive and live. Okay, we all want to get back to live, but you got to get through survive to do it. Okay, a couple of people have said it. I've been there too. 10, 12 years ago when I went through a divorce and lost everything. Yeah, I was in survival mode. I got back to living mode. Sometimes you got to get through it. So. But go look at some of the old stories. If you're bored tomorrow, if it's snowing where you are and you don't want to go outside, go read some stories on the Depression. Go read The Grapes of Wrath, Steinbeck. Good ideas in there. God knows, probably haven't read that book. What was it, written in the 40s? So you probably haven't read that book in a while. Go back and read it. You might learn a little bit. Got to find where we were again. Okay, went too far. Let's see. Okay, back into the realm here. North Shore, thank you for hitting 7,000. Yeah, I thank you all for that. Okay, I mean that's you guys. Okay, obviously I'm just one guy here trying to put out the best information I can to y'all. You know, I still say you guys are maybe telling other people, hey, this guy's giving us good information. Come listen to him. But I try to do what I can do. If y'all like to listen, hey, that's great. But I do this trying to help everybody. That's all it is. Okay. Chief Jim, you have to be on duty Wednesday, 1 mile from the state capitol. Okay. Well, stay safe, brother. That's all I can say. Busted Beak, watching AP's latest video before installing solar panels. Now, by AP, do you mean Alaska Prepper? Because I'm thinking that Angry Prepper is not installing solar panels in his apartment. So I'm guessing you mean Alaska Prepper, but if you can clarify that, that'd be great. America First. You know what? I watch a lot of these channels. I love the way you don't ask for money and things. Coughing. I'm assuming you mean coffee money or camping money or whatever. Guys, I know this. This is the reason I started this channel in the first place. Okay. I started it a little more than a year ago. I put up my first couple of videos around Christmas time of 2019, and then I got away from it for about 10 months because I was 100% doing my preps. And the reason I started this was because I saw so many channels, and obviously I was watching them long before I did it, but I saw so many channels that were trying to sell you something, begging for money, doing whatever. Okay. When I watch other videos, the one thing that drives me absolutely nuts, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. If y'all like what I'm saying, stick around. If you don't, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Okay. I'm just trying to put it out there. I'm here to help. That's it. I enjoy it. Okay. I enjoy talking to you guys. I mean, you all know that I answer every email and tons of the comments, everything. This isn't a money thing for me. All right. When I get back to work, I've got a real job, but I'm okay. It helps. I'm not gonna say that, the money that I collect off of YouTube isn't, I mean, it's not much, but I mean, it's still something. But it drives me nuts when everybody's out there, send me money. I need subscribers. I need this, blah, blah. You know what? If you want to be here, be here. If you don't, I understand. That's just me. Okay. I appreciate everything that everybody did over the holidays for the donations, and y'all saw what it did. That didn't go in my pocket. Okay. And that's why I posted it, because I know there's a ton of crooked YouTubers that will say everything's for charity and none of it goes there. It goes straight in the pocket. So, but I'm sorry that's a touchy subject for me, but I appreciate you saying that, America First, because my heart is with you guys. It's not with the bank, if you will. So, okay, somebody popped in here. Who is this? Patriot Ref. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that very much. Okay, it helps. And again, like I said, I'm not asking, begging. If you guys care to help me out, I appreciate it. But please don't feel obligated to do it whatsoever. And Lisa, you just popped in too. Thank you. And because it's here. And do I think the amount of, sorry, I gotta compose myself for a second. Appreciate what you guys are doing. Do I think the amount of troops in DC is overkill? Yeah. I mean, come on, 25,000 troops. I mean, that's silly. I mean, really, I mean, how many, what do they think they're going to have? An army come in? I mean, what is it? I think that one of the biggest militias in the country is in either in Michigan or Ohio, one of the two. And they're nowhere close to, that. I mean, it's just a show of force. The only thing I can possibly think, and be ready, thank you for that. I appreciate it too. Nice to see you, brother. Wish you wouldn't be going on so late when you do your lives. I'd love to watch them, but I'm in bed. The only thing that I can think that's possible with having 25,000 troops in there, and I'd be really interested to know if they are all National Guard, because again, you guys got to understand the difference between National Guard, Reserve, and active duty. Okay. And I know a lot of people just look at National Guard and reservists as one and the same because they're quote unquote weekend warriors. Okay. We all know what active duty is. National Guard is controlled at the state level. Okay. The federal government has no control over sending the National Guard in. That's a governor. All right. The federal government can say, yeah, we will approve paying it. Okay. Because that's where pay comes from. But as for sending in the troops, that's it. Reservists are active duty, okay, to fight foreign wars. National Guard is to take care of things domestically. And that's the big difference that people don't understand. Now, that's where I say I'd be very interested to know who are the 25,000 stationed in DC. I saw something today that Mississippi had sent some National Guardsmen up to DC, which really struck me as odd, because why would the Mississippi National Guard is there to protect Mississippi, not Washington, D.C. Okay, again, federal state difference. So unless they are thinking something, let's use the term international, is going to happen, and that's what they're worried about, I don't know. This is real weird, and I can't find, I mean, again, I'm looking at the same internet that you guys are. It's not like I have any connections in Washington or something like that. But I can't logically, even with military experience, figure out what's going on there. Angie, thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. I mean, like, oh, you guys are being nice to me tonight. I appreciate that. So, okay. Let's see where else we got here. Mammy K said DeSantis has called it the National Guard till the 24th. That doesn't surprise me from what I was talking about earlier with the guy in Florida that got arrested by the FBI. Sean, North Shore, thank you. Coffee and pie. Yeah, $20 or any more will be coffee and pie. Though there's a really good little mom and pop shop in my tiny town here that I can get a good breakfast for that. Let's see, where else are we? Sorry, I got it off on a ramble. And Patriot Ref, I say, hope that helps, brother. Yeah, it does. Thanks a lot, dude. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you much. Highlands Husky, I did it right. Okay, I don't know what I did right, but oh, okay. All right, Lisa, I just came back and this is, I was scrolling back up to finish your question. How do Bristol ham taste? Okay, like Spam. I don't know how Bristol ham tastes, but I will tell you this. I'm anti-angry prepper in this. I love Spam. Okay, Spam and eggs with a little bit of hot sauce reminds me of being in the field in the Army. And it was like, oh my God, you got some hot food. And it was Spam and eggs. And that was like the best meal. Okay, so just, yeah, Spam, if all I pick on him all the time, but all the crap he gives Spam, I love the stuff. So I remember when I was a kid, my dad used to make Spam sandwiches, just like a piece of ham, lettuce and mayo and do whatever. Never like that. It's a little too greasy, but Spam and eggs, I'm all over it. Where are we going? Okay. I love when you guys throw something funny at me like that here. Puts a smile on my face, and God knows I can use a few of those. Uh, Val, nice to have a big brother who's not only a veteran, but does a great Santa Claus. If you guys noticed, okay, after 3 weeks of dealing with YouTube, and the Santa Claus video is finally back up, okay, we figured out who hacked the account, and there's a YouTube is going after them. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so somebody's going to be spending time in front of a guy in a black dress. Uh, just to put it legally that way. But yeah, they found out who the hacker was. IP addresses have that tendency to screw you, and so it was a good thing. Dixie Vixen National Guard can be put on Title 32 for federal service. Okay. All right. That explains my Mississippi question. Thank you for that. Okay. And I'm not sure what Title 32 was. I wasn't National Guard, so I'm kind of going to what I know. Jacob, thank you. I'm watching the screen on the computer and on the phone as I'm doing this on the phone. Jacob, thank you for the donation. Dude, you're a mod. So, but I appreciate it. Thank you for the help. Becky Reed, Cuomo sent 1,000 troops to DC. Really? Okay. Like Cuomo doesn't have enough problems in New York. Okay. And he's going to send troops to DC. Okay. So who's covering New York? Because, gee, I don't know. You know, the number one target in the world? Isaac is the National Guard for most of the states that are deployed in DC. I've got to think they're coming from Maryland and Virginia, but I mean, like I said, I heard Mississippi and, you know, just, coming from other places. I mean, just hearing from New York, just, I think it's a huge, typical Washington, huge waste of money. I mean, because obviously you got to put all these guys travel, fuel, feed them, whatever would be. I mean, it doesn't, from videos I've seen, it doesn't look like they're putting them up in hotels. They're sleeping on the floor in a state capitol. But, you still got to be able to feed these guys. And, that costs, think about the grocery bill for 25,000 people for one meal. Okay. Yeah, just typical government, waste a ton of money because they're going to go, nothing will happen. And they're going to go, oh, gee, it was because of our presence. And everybody's going to go, no, your presence was a waste of money. Nothing was going to happen anyway. There's going to be a couple of little skirmishes. You know that. There's always going to be a couple of idiots who go out there and think they're Billy Badass and, cause trouble. And, they'll spend the afternoon in the Huska, with handcuffs on. Okay, congratulations, you made your choice. You didn't do anything. You just cost yourself a bunch of money. So, Highlands Husky flag change in Mississippi. Don't even get me started on that. Okay, and I'm not even a Southerner. Okay, obviously you can hear my accent, but it's a Southern pride thing down here. It's not a racial thing, and just I don't even want to go there anymore. Okay. Ohio also sent it. Maine also sent it. Okay, guys, you're throwing all this. CMAX was the same person that hacked yours, the same one that hacked TJ Preps. I believe so. Okay, I don't know how far she took it, but I took it to the AG, and we went from there. So yeah, that was the fun part. But yes, we're assuming it was the same one because I had somebody used the same tactic on me a few days ago. I mean, I saw the post within a couple of minutes, but we saw who it was. So that YouTube is well aware, and Tennessee AG got involved, so that was good. I'm a nice guy, but don't push me because I fight back. I'm sorry. Got to go back to where I was. Okay. Jacob, we appreciate your time and wisdom. Guys, my time, yes. My wisdom, it's not wisdom. It's just, experience and trying to share it. Okay. I mean, I'm no genius or anything like that. It's just I have some time to go look into the stuff that maybe you guys don't. I've got some experience that I can use. That's, kind of put two and two together. Be ready. Being prior military, it's crazy, but the new model military has analytics. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they've got so much different than when I was in. It's unbelievable. I mean, the military I was in, it was sticks and stones compared to what the guys got now. I mean, when I'm hearing nomenclatures about stuff, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? So, yeah, I mean, it's just insane what, talking to some of the younger people that have even ETS'd already, and what they're telling me, I'm like, huh? No idea. So I'm going again. You guys got to remember, I got out 30 years ago, so I'm going after going off of the knowledge I had then and trying to use that and what I can piece together. So yeah. Be ready again. I'm buying a case for emergencies. I'm assuming you're talking about spam, because if you can find a case of bullets, you're doing really well. Okay. Isaac, you're not a big fan of spam. I can see I'm trying to get caught up as usual on this. I get off to running and ranting. Uh, yeah, NYPD's like an army. Yeah, 35,000 strong. Uh, no kidding. But, again, the training's still going to be a little different. Uh, Garth Wagner, seen vids of troops packing everything from M16s to saws. Now, when you say saw, I'm assuming you're not meaning the thing to cut wood. So that would be interesting, if they're carrying anti-tank weapons. We just bounced. Okay, where are we? Yeah, C-Max, good. Glad you took it higher up. Yeah, yeah. Y'all don't know me that well. Trust me, I've taken two Fortune 500 companies to court and won both times. Uh, let's see, where are we? Diane, I'm a natural teacher. No, I mean, it's funny that you say that. I mean, I have the ability to help people, but I don't see myself as a teacher whatsoever. I mean, I remember going through interrogation school, and not to pat myself on the back, but I had the second highest score ever in interrogation school. So, and everybody else in my class, I would play the source, the prisoner, for them to practice after work to help them do it. And I, just like I do with you guys, I throw some wild scenarios out there and make them think. That's all I try to do is I just want to get you guys to think, because I can't tell you what to do. Your situation is totally different than mine. Okay. But if I can make you think about the situation and how something outside affects you, then you come up with the solution. And that's more important than anything else, that you come up with a solution that fixes you. I mean, I don't, I can't tell anybody what to do. It doesn't work. Okay. When you guys figure it out for yourself based on the information you have, then things work great. And that's what I try to do, is get you the information that maybe you don't have. If you have it, you ignore me. Fine. If you disagree with me, that's fine. As long as you do it respectfully, I don't care. But we kind of, go from there. But thank you for the compliment. Highland Tusky, I could teach history. I'd have a lot of fun. I'd probably get kicked out of every school in the country, because, here I'd be teaching history going, Reagan was the greatest president we ever had, and Bill Clinton was the worst, and the school board would kick me out in a second. But, yeah, I mean, I'd love to go in and teach a history class on Vietnam and go, hey, Gulf of Tonkin never happened, guys. We went to war over something that was made up. I told you that story once before, but there's a whole bunch of things. I love learning about history. I mean, watching, you know, documentaries on the 1800s, the 1900s, early 1900s and stuff, because I can correlate a lot of it to what's going on today. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of people that do that. And I mean, y'all saw the video I put up this morning. I mean, it was about Venezuela, the one I did the other day, and gave you a couple examples of, the Karpovs living off, or Karpovs, Lykovs living off of, out in the woods for 42 years. I mean, that's history. I mean, now granted, nobody's teaching Russian history in the United States, okay, but you can probably find a whole lot of examples like that in the United States. I mean, how much do they teach about, I don't know, Davy Crockett in the United States? People know the name. Tell me anything about his story. I mean, honestly, if you stop right now and go, okay, I'm going to give a 10-minute speech on Davy Crockett, could anybody make it past 30 seconds? Right? Okay. That's all. It's just a matter of learning. As long as these things are open, and this thing still works, I still want to learn stuff. And, some of it is to do with my hands, some of it is just for knowledge, and some of it's to apply to real life. So, okay. Let's see where we go. Be ready. Thank you. I have a servant leader's heart. I try. Okay. I try my best. All right. I walk in the footsteps of the Lord, and I don't try to push my religion on anybody, but I just try to learn. And, I try to be a good person. And if more of, again, I'm not patting myself on the back. I mean, if more people tried to be good to others, we'd be in a hell of a lot better shape than we are now. But for the last 2 generations, if not more, it's all been me, 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 and there's not been enough about us, 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 us. And I'm sorry, the military taught me it was all about us. We all hang together or we all hang separately. And personally, I don't want a rope around my neck. So, okay. Holy crap! It's 10 till already. You guys got me talking and I lose track of time. Where are we? Die Fergie, will the internet go down in the next few days? I've heard sporadically that there's places where it's been down. I don't. It's going to be interesting to see what happens Tuesday. All bets are off for what happens Tuesday. Okay, come 12:01 on Tuesday, it's going to be, who knows what the hell is going to happen. But I don't think it's going to be okay, guys, lock the doors, turn the key, boom, this is the USSA anymore. I don't see it happening, that we shut the internet down or whatever it is. I think we see a lot more of what we're seeing now. It's going to be a lot of censorship, a lot of things pulled down. And as you have all these Facebook, YouTube, Amazon, Twitter, attorneys that are now getting jobs in the new administration, I mean, the most hilarious ones are, putting a Twitter attorney in charge of security, and then putting Eric Swalwell in charge of, or Pelosi putting Swalwell on the intelligence committee, after the guy's been sleeping with the Chinese spy. That makes total sense to me. But I don't think it's going to shut us down, but it's going to be quiet. Somebody that just popped in. JG, thank you for the super chat there, and I will sip the wine right there with you. Again, this is my own vintage, if you will. I think this is probably vintage November. So, And it's got vet. Gen X Navy vet. Gen X. Okay. All as Gen Xers. Yay. Thank you. All right. The Navy part I'll leave out. But thanks, brother. Becky, did I see Alaska Prepper's video on mealworms? No, I didn't. I looked to see what he had today. I didn't. The last thing I thought was the last video I saw was when he had the dollar bill going down the drain or whatever it was. No, I didn't. If he had something up later this afternoon, no, I didn't. But yeah, we all know that the World Economic Forum wants us to eat bug protein. So don't see that happening. Thank you. I will stick with my animal protein. JQ, what's a good book on the history of the USSR? I don't know. My wife hasn't written one. I mean, honestly, I don't know. That's a good question, though. I'll ask her if she can tell me what's a good one, because honestly, I'd like to read it. I mean, I listen to her stories, and obviously, she took history classes. I mean, she was born in '77, so she lived through it for 14 years. But taking Russian history, she knows a lot more than I know. I mean, I know a good amount, but she can really tell me some of the in-depth stuff. Living there and from talking to her parents and her grandparents. But yeah, that's a good question. I'll see if I can get you an answer to that one and kind of go there. I know a few of you guys have asked me books about prepping. That one might actually be a good one to read. So thanks for the tip. Terry, history's changed a lot from what I was learning at school. Yeah, and it's amazing how they try to rewrite it. Oh, if we get rid of this statue, it won't happen anymore. We'll change Columbus Day to Indigenous People Day. And who discovered America? And in a couple of generations, I don't know. So who knows? DJ Squatch, you can sing the entire song for the TV show Davy Crockett. There you go. Rhonda Pagan, you have a couple of degrees in history. The history that they teach our students is very little compared to what we learned. Yeah, see, I don't know. I mean, all I know is this. I mean, I graduated high school in '84. After the Army, I finished college in '93. And they stopped, I mean, mind you, this is 90, in the early 90s. And they stopped teaching history at the Vietnam War. So history stopped, and then I was born. And I'm like, okay, there's a whole lot that happened between the early 70s, I was born in the late 60s, but there's a whole lot that happened too. I mean, like I said in the video the other day, I mean, look at Venezuela. That's history that ended 18 months ago. The story that I gave you. I mean, that's history. But, hey, we don't want to teach that. We don't want anybody to know that stuff. So, okay, scrolling along, looking for caps. Garcia family, 1920s, not 1820s. Did I say something wrong? I apologize. Lisa Preps, Goodwill near me selling all books for 50 cents. Found gardening and medical books. The Q. Yeah, I don't want to hear about the Q group. They're whack jobs. But yeah, I mean, Goodwill's a great place to buy books, guys. Get whatever you can over there. All right. I mean, even if it's something silly, what you think you never read, get some books, because trust me, if we wind up in a situation that we have no power, that may be your only entertainment. And especially if you got kids, maybe you can sit and read them a story. And, I'm sorry, Clifford the dog is not going to work for your 13-year-old. So, go from there. Be ready. I'd love for you to do a study on Richmond Randolph Lodge 19. Do me a favor, brother. Email that over to me so I can take a look at what that is. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'd love to take a look at it. I mean, obviously, I got mucho respect for you, brother. So if you tell me to take a look at something, it's obviously worth my time. Garth Wagner, strong minds are harder to control compared to zombies. Yeah, well, that's why they're working with zombies first. They're going to try to cull us. History, Mary Scaros. History's been replaced with political correctness. Yeah, there's nothing correct about political correctness. Isaac, have I heard about the supply line issues in Britain? Yes, I have. Apparently, that there's nothing from France getting in, and they've got massive food shortages. Uh, and again, it's something I kind of touch on a little bit tomorrow, but yeah, guys, again, food, food, food. And I'll give you just a preview tonight. I mean, there's a couple hundred of you in here. It's time to go back to prepping 101, all right? Rice, grains, beans, I mean, corn, rice, wheat, flour. That's what you need to be picking up right now, because that's what's, the prices are going to go through the freaking roof this year. All right, so if you got some, great, but double what you got, because you're going to need it, because we're shipping it all overseas. Fergie, am I getting ready to get my garden together? We've got about 2 weeks till I start putting first seeds in, and getting sweet potatoes started. So I will, and when we do all that, I will show you what I got. I mean, it's not rocket science. You guys know how to do some of it. But I'll give you the quick rundown of what we're doing when I get there. But we had snow today, so in Tennessee, so zone 6. So yeah, I wanted to go get some more compost today or cow manure, and of course it was snowing, so not a good idea to do that. So what else we got? A couple more questions here if I can find them. Thanks, North Shore, for putting my email address on there. Cards and dice, C-Max, good point. Cards and dice too. Yeah, have a couple of decks of cards. I mean, think about any old Western movie you guys watched. Okay. I mean, again, I was at the VA the other day. If you've ever been in a VA, all they play is, these old 1950s Westerns. And that was entertainment. The guy sat and played poker. I mean, because there wasn't anything else to do. I mean, literally, there was no TV, there was no internet, there were no movies, So, get some cards, get some board games. Think when you're prepping, guys. All right, think of everything. Think of the kids. You're going to have to keep kids occupied. Yeah, you're going to have them working. Okay, but but they've got to have a childhood. So, give them something to do. I mean, checkers, chess, cards, board games, whatever would be, something to do, because the kids are going to have complete culture shock if the internet goes out. Shut off the internet for 2 days and watch your kids go completely insane, okay? Because they don't know what to do. I mean, they get up in the morning and they pull the phone off the nightstand and they're going da 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 da. Okay, most of us are too. Shut off your internet for 2 days and try to figure out what to do with yourself. And you're going to be running around the house going, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So, get something to entertain yourself. Books, board games, cards, dice, whatever it would be. Teach the kids to play poker. Who knows? No strip poker. But, just these are things you got to think about, because this is part of life. Life is, or part of prepping life. Prepping life is not going to be work, 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 sleep, 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 work, 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 sleep, sleep, sleep. There's got to be some fun in it, okay? Just like now, there's got to be some fun in life. You can't prep 24/7. Okay. I'm going to see if I can find one more. Phil Robinson, I was going to say audiobooks. Well, there's a little problem with no electricity. Heard today on the radio that radishes and carrots and greens do great in containers. Radishes, yes. Greens, yes. Carrots, no. Unless you've got a good deep container. Radishes will grow right up, about 2 or 3 inches of soil. Greens, again, same thing. Carrots, you're going to need about 8 to 10 inches deep of soil, so you're going to need a big pot. So depending on what you're going to do there, Lisa. C-Max, morale, got to keep it up. The will to live, need to be strong mentally. Yes. Morale is going to be everything, guys. When you give up, start digging a hole 6 feet deep and you're done. Okay. you've got to keep, I did the video the other day, the will to survive. And, as long as you got it, you'll do it, barring accident or injury or whatever would be. But, as long as you got the will to survive, you'd be amazed what a human being can do if they want something bad enough. Okay. I mean, you put your mind to it and you'll be amazed what you can do. And that's not, I mean, that's anybody. Okay. I mean, we are a very, very strong species that can figure things out. I mean, you look where we've come over even the last 200 years. I mean, we went from, wagon trains and, log cabins to, space travel and internet and God knows what, in 100 years. So, you'd be amazed what the people can do. So, all right, guys, it is 10 o'clock. I thank everybody for everything you guys do, for being around for me, for supporting me. God knows, thank you all for the contributions tonight. That helps drastically. Take care. I was going to do a tinfoil fedora tonight. I didn't get time to make it. So if I get there, you'll see it. But y'all have a good one. I will see y'all in the morning. Love y'all. Pinball out.